faction where I share my love of Stonemaier Games. I'm Jason Martin, and today I'm taking a look at unquestionably the smallest, simplest game that Stonemaier Games has ever published, and that is Smitten. Smitten is a little 18-card, 1 to 2 player micro game that Jamey Stonemaier designed, and Vincent Dutrait provided the art in honor of Stonemaier's 10th anniversary. So as part of that 10th anniversary celebration, Stonemaier released Between Two Cities Essential Edition, which I'll probably do a review of at some point in the future, a few promo packs for Rolling Realms, and Smitten. Oh, and the 10th anniversary Champions t-shirt. Now, Smitten is highly unusual because, for one thing, unlike all other Stonemaier games, it only plays 1 or 2 players. So it doesn't go up to 5 or more players like every other game that Stonemaier has. Also, the components are just 18 cards. I mean, this is it. When you get the game, it comes in this little envelope, and within the envelope are a rule sheet. And I say rule sheet, not rule book, because it's just a single sheet of paper. You have the cooperative 2-player rules on one side, and then the solo rules on the other. And then it also comes with 18 cards, and that's it. And basically, the cards are, there's 2 sets of 8 cards, basically. 2 sets of 9 cards, 18 cards total. And so the object of the game is to create 2 identical tableaus using 2 hands of cards. So let's get to the table, and I'm going to show you how to play and run through a short playthrough of the solo rules of Smitten. Welcome to the world of Smitten, a world made up of lots of other worlds within the Stonemaier universe, similar to Rolling Realms in that regard, but this game could not be more different. So let's get it set up. We have this 18-card deck. Like I said in the intro, basically 2 cards of each type. So there are 9 cards in a tableau, and there will be 2 tableaus that I'll be creating in the solo play. So shuffle these cards up a little bit. I'd already shuffled some of them, or shuffled some. And then, as per the rules, we remove a random card. And if that card, or if we complete the tableau, then this card will be put in as the final card if we complete both. And then for our starting hand, or starting hands, plural, we're going to deal out 2 face-up cards and a face-down card for each hand. So with the solo rules, you play essentially 2-handed. The rules are very similar to the cooperative. One difference being that in the 2-player cooperative game, you don't have any information. You don't get to see what the other player's cards are. You can tell the player whether or not you want to play or whether you can play, but it is meant to be limited information for the 2-player cooperative game. For the solo game, that's replicated by each hand has 1 face-down card. So let's see, we'll put this off to the side. And now we can start. Interesting thing about this game is that there are turns, but not a turn order. So for instance, this hand of cards could play their turn, and then at the end of the turn, this hand of cards could play again. And this hand of cards would merely be responding to whatever this hand did, similar to the cooperative mode as well. So I don't have to play with this hand and then play with this hand and only then can go back here. I can play from this hand and then keep playing from the same hand as long as I want. All right, so let's see what we have here. Now, when we play Smitten, there's a difference between playing a card and placing a card. Playing a card means you put the card out in the tableau in its spot. It can only be placed orthogonally next to a card that's already there, if there's already a card in the tableau. And then when you play a card, you do, or have, usually your partner has to do what is instructed on the text. That is different from placing a card, which means the card just gets placed in its spot in the tableau and you don't perform the text. So here we have card 4, which this shows that it will go in the 4 spot. And it says, your partner must place a card in either grid so that it completes a row and or column. Well, obviously, we don't want to play that first because we don't have nearly enough cards to complete a row or column. Now, card 5, which goes right in the middle of the grid, that's a good card to put out first. Choose higher or lower. Your partner must place a card in the other grid that is higher or lower than 5. Now, I have to do that before I flip over the card. Usually, like if I were to play this card, and that would come into play, usually immediately upon this being played, the other hand flips their hidden card, their face down card up. With this card, I have to choose higher or lower before I've flipped over this card. So I don't know what this is. So right now, in the other hand, I have 2 7s. I have both 7s in the deck, the only 7s. And so obviously, if I were to play this, I would probably want to do higher because I can only play higher. Now in this hand, I have, like I said, I have 2 7s. And this one says, your partner must place a card in the other grid. Well, this might be a good one to play first off because I can play anything in this part of the deck. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna play this card here, and so I immediately flip this over, and I get to see that it's a 6. So I have 4, 5, and 6. That's pretty good. And immediately, so your partner must place a card in the other grid. So I now will place this, but I don't activate it. I don't activate the text down here in the bottom. So that's one turn. So I played a card, responded to its instructions, placed a card, and now I refill both hands by putting a face-down card here and then another face-up card here. So that at the beginning of the next turn, I have one hand with, or each hand has 2 face-up and 1 face-down card, if possible. Now there will come a time when this deck is run out, and I just draw cards up until I'm able to do so, until the deck runs out. All right, so let's see, for my next turn, so this card came out, 8. Your partner must place a card in this grid. Well, I could do that by placing this. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I'm going to place this one here. So now I have 7 and 8, and I have to place one in that grid, so I'm going to place the 4 right there. All right, so now we refill our hand. And what's next? Well, okay, I could do the same here, where I'm going to put 8 here. Your partner must place a card in this grid, and so I can place this right there. So I have that 6. So having that 5 out really helps out, because then I'm able to build around the 5 in all directions. Oh, I forgot to flip that over. So now I have 2 face-up cards. Now face down. That's one thing that I do sometimes forget, is that when you play a card, your partner or the other hand reveals the flip down card when the card is played. All right, so now we have card 3. Your partner must reveal the top card of the deck, then place it in either grid. I could put that right here. Still have this one. Your partner must place a card in either grid so that it completes a row and or column. I don't see a way for that to work yet. Choose higher or lower. Your partner must place a card in the other grid. Well, yeah, I think I'm going to play this one. So I'm going to play this one up here. So now the instructions say your partner must reveal the top card of the deck, then place it in either grid. Okay, now we revealed this 9. Sure. Yeah, I can place this. So I'm placing it. I'm not activating the instructions. Now, do I want to put it here or here? Well, I guess I might as well put it here because placing it here doesn't really give me any other places to play. Placing it here means I can still put a 6 right there. All right, so now I draw back up. Okay, so now we have a 2, a 4, a 5, or a 7. Oh, and I forgot to reveal that card. And then a 1. So this one for the 2 says your partner must play a card in either grid and trigger its instructions. Do I want to do that? Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, I'm going to put this here. Okay, so now I have to play a card in either grid and trigger its instructions. I'm going to play this one, and that will flip this, but first I have to choose higher or lower and place a card in the other grid that is higher or lower than 5. I'm going to choose lower because I can put this one in the other grid. So I'm going to reveal this, put that there, and I'm just placing it. I'm not playing it. All right, so now I draw back up. 1, face down, and then face down. And that's the end of this deck. So this is the last card that'll be placed, assuming I can place, that I can, properly play or place the rest of these. So now it's just a matter of making sure that I can do that, which I'm pretty sure I can. Okay. I'm going to play this one right here, number 1. Your partner must reveal one card from their hand and then place another card in either grid. Well, I'm going to reveal this card, and then I'm going to place this one here. And then I will... So this one says your partner must play a card in either grid and trigger its instructions. So I'm going to play that here. And then that reveals this card. And then I have to play a card and trigger its instructions. So I will play this one and trigger its instructions, which says your partner must place a card in the other grid. I do that. And so that was just placing. Now I can't refill, but I can go ahead and play that one. That completes this tableau. This is all completed except for 1. And I can play that last one right there, or place it rather. And both tableaus are completed. So that's Smitten. A very short card game that, whether you're playing it with 2 players cooperatively or just playing it solo by yourself, it really doesn't take that long to complete. I have to say, I kind of like this game, but for being a short micro game, honestly, company Button Shy makes a lot of 18-card micro games, and frankly, most of those are probably better than Smitten. Smitten's a good game in its own right. I don't mean to denigrate it or make it sound like it's a bad game. It's fine. I think the turn order or lack thereof, I guess, can take a little while to wrap your head around. That one player can take a bunch of turns in a row before the other player takes their turn at all. But I think for a cooperative 2-player game or for a solo game, that works. And I think deciding who goes when makes a lot of sense and makes the adds to the strategy of the game. I also like the specific rules or condition that each card has and how you have to work with that, how you can use it to your advantage, but also how it could kind of box you into a hole. So I think there are some good things there. but I just don't see a lot of replayability in this. I think because you're always going to end up with those two tableaus, and there really are, there are a number of ways to get there. You can lose this game, but frankly, for my taste, when I'm playing a micro solo game, I want my winning condition, my win percentage to be maybe slightly more or slightly less than 50%. Actually, probably quite a bit less than 50%, maybe 30 to 40% win rate. I feel like I'm close to 100% on this. I feel like I'm playing the rules right. I've read over it many times. I've watched playthroughs. I think I have the gist of, not just the gist, I think I have the details of what exactly it is. And for me, there just isn't a lot there. It's a good game. I think it's a fun game. I think it's very appropriate for a little micro game that is here not as a core part of Stonemaier Games catalog, but just as a fun way to honor the 10th anniversary. I absolutely love the fact that Vincent Dutrait took artwork from the Stonemaier Games and put it on these cards. This one from Tapestry, and then so this one from Tapestry, and this one from My Little Scythe, and then the characters from Charterstone, and of course Wingspan, and then the entire mech from Scythe occupies the entire tableau as a whole. I love that feel. I would absolutely love to get a good quality print of that artwork, without the text on it, without the graphics necessary for the card to play the card game, but just a print of the finished product. I would love to get something like that to hang on my wall in the room where I have some other prints for gaming. So that's Smitten. If you like this, you can pick it up from Stonemeier's website. For a while, they were giving it away with any with any web order. That has ended, but you can still pick it up for inexpensive. And if you like Stonemaier Games, if you like Vincent Dutrait's art, if you like quick little micro games, there's really no reason not to get this. So I hope that's been helpful. And until next time, I'll be making my way to the factory as the champion faction. Bye, everybody.